Hello. This next segment of my conversation with Bron Watson, which we call Success Despite Adversity, will explore that emotional roller coaster ride through breast cancer. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan, and this is From Upside Down to Right Side Up, Tips for the Transition. It is truly my honor to share inspiring stories like Bron's. These women have figured out how to move through life's inevitable trials and tribulations and come out on the top in triumph. They help us to know that we're not alone when our own world turns upside down. Bron shared her story of 5 days from diagnosis to surgery and the treatment that followed and how it affected her. So next we're going to go deeper into some of those emotions. Hello, Bron.
Hello.
You talked about learning to live each day just for today. Can you help us understand what were some of the emotions you dealt with, and how did that reminder just for today help you through them?
It's the way I lived, and I almost call it my old Bron, in that I was really busy. I had a flourishing business. I had my kids, and I was around looking after everyone. That's looking back. That's what I realized. And the just for today, it made me live the day in second gear. So instead of living in top gear, it brought me back to second gear. And what that did was give me the space that I needed to become aware of what that lifestyle and emotionally what it was doing to me throughout that time. So when you slow down, because you have to, because you're sick, you get to sit back. Well, you don't get to sit back, you get to lie back, and and you go, how did I get here? How did this happen? And when it was the thoughts of the why me, because of course there's grief, because there's sadness, there's a loss, there's a massive loss. Not only did I have a mastectomy, but there's the loss of life as I knew it. And as I said, when I get to that got to living in the day and the feelings of that, when that would come up, I would choose. There was two choices. I could have either gone into victim, which is like, oh, why me? I'm the one out of, in Australia now, 1 in 7. Oh, I'm the one. And it's horrible being the one. Like, to be the 1 out of 7. How did I get here? I don't drink, I don't smoke, I've lived a healthy life. My oncologist said to me, Bron, you are so disgustingly healthy. And there's lots of reasons why, and I believe stress was one of those things. They'll never quantify it. They don't, in terms of research, but stress, absolutely. And why? Because I was living in top gear, and that top gear means that you miss things. You miss things for yourself, you miss things for your family. And the grinding halt of the treatment of breast cancer brought around such a realization that I go, I can't believe that that's what I was doing. And so instead of focusing out, I started to focus in, going, Bron, you're the only person who can get you through this. You've got your family will love you through it. My husband was beyond amazing. Paul just became everything that I couldn't be. Whereas I'd never probably allowed him to be that person before. So it was incredible to accept help. And I think as women, especially when you are successful and especially when you're working hard and doing the best you can with what you've got, it's that whole self-awareness is so powerful. So that's why I chose to use this as a learning. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for what I've been through, which sounds kind of weird. Not grateful for the cancer, but I'm grateful for being able to, before I didn't get a chance to enjoy life the way it should be, which is in second gear, which is having the awareness to stop and smell the roses, to be able to choose the day, like today. Hey, Bron, just for today, how would you like to have your day? How would you like to feel? That's the most important thing. It's the feelings, and being in alignment with yourself, and going in first. So going into giving yourself permission to enjoy rather than worrying about everyone else. And it's for me, a very enlightening moment to be able to go, you know, this is my life now. And I don't know how many days I have on this earth, but let's make them amazing. Let's make them amazing for me, which in turn, of course, makes it wonderful for my family. But the focus is just completely different. And if that's one thing that I can say is, it's just wonderful to live in second gear. Just slow down. Because you're missing. I missed so much. I can't talk for anyone else, but I missed so much, and that's the hugest feeling, and that in itself brings, I think, just not just the resilience, but it's the peace that it's okay, and I'm going to be okay.
You said so many powerful things in that time. Bron, I told you you'd be inspired by Bron, right? I just appreciate you sharing your story, your attitude, your bubbly personality, the way you got through this, even though the sadness and the grief, I'm sure at times overtook you on those days you were lying around. And the fact that you chose very consciously to live one day at a time. Just for today, drink water. Just for today, take this tablet that you need to take. Just for today, breathe. Just for today. I love that message. It is so important for those of us who live in high gear most of the time to take it down a notch, to take it down to second gear so we don't miss things. So you've taught me something. It's not that I didn't know it. I think we all know it, that when we move too fast, we are missing things. We're missing the things that could delight us. I could go on. This is, you are amazing. Your approach to this insidious disease is, it's a lesson for all of us, regardless of whether we face cancer or any other adversity. You know, success despite adversity is the title you gave this episode. And I love how you live that.
Thank you. Thank you. And might I add, there are still tears. There are still days when it does overwhelm me, when I catch a glimpse of myself, and you know, it's a feeling of loss, because that's what it is. And as you say, it doesn't matter what your adversity is. It's the same feelings of loss and something that you didn't choose. You know, I didn't choose this journey. It's what you do with it, I think, and when I say do, it's about being. I think it's about who do you want to be able to do what has to be done. And that's, you know, something I'm sure you can really understand.
Yeah, you know, that's so important to say. Thank you for saying that. You're right. It's not how much we do. It's who we decide to be when we're doing it.
Yeah.
And you said you had the choice not to be the victim. It would have been so easy.
Oh, I wanted to be the victim. Oh, come on, let me be the victim. But the thing is,
just for a minute, please let me.
Hand over all responsibility to someone else. I want to have but it doesn't mean you don't have that pity party or that feeling of grief for yourself. Of course, that's a normal human emotion. It's more around, well, now what, in terms of what goes next, and I might have been lying in a bed sick, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't allowing the lessons to be learned, because again, that's a choice to use what's happened as a lesson.
And we have to stop and be aware, right? In order for us to see, feel, hear, whatever it is, those lessons, right? We have to be open to them. Yeah. So that's a great segue. In our next segment, we are going to ask you to share what you've learned on this amazing journey of yours. And I like to say we save the best for last, because this is where your lessons can become the golden nuggets of inspiration for another woman. So stay tuned again, everyone, for the continuing conversation with Bron and the lesson she's going to share with us. Till next time, I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan.